Welcome to our podcast about success, about business, about personal journey. I'm super excited to have a very special guest here. Sam, thank you so much. I know you're a very busy person. I'm so pleased that you find the time to come here. Sam Katiela. You have such a long journey. You have more than 30 years of experience in events and marketing, and you work with government and so many things. Why don't you tell me more about what you do? Because I can't even memorize all of that.
Thank you for having me. Look, it's not about things how your experience are, because many people gather experience within the years they do business, but it's all about how you make use of it and how you continue to evolve yourself. You know, the experience lasts only as long as you keep running and keep continuing. Otherwise, you gotta go sideways. So I learned from the early stage, if I stand still, I'm gonna go sideways, I'm gonna be losing in the long run. That means the experience is only a temporary gift as an ingredient to create another complete new menu of your being and of your positioning of your business. So I'm in the business since over 33 years. I started my company when I was studying in Germany, and it's still the same company, Mamimo, and Mamimo Productions, but now we call it Mamimo as a group. And since 33 is the same brand, same name. And and it was an extreme interesting journey because in my field of business, you get to learn something where you usually can't pay even money for because it's so diversified. It's so interesting. It's always, you have changed topics because we create strategies and concepts and IPs, intellectual properties for IPs, which focus on live marketing for our clients. And now within a time group, focus more on the governmental clients, subsidiaries of governments or initiatives of the governments. So we launched the Zeit Future Energy Prize, we launched the World Future Energy Summit, the Global Summit of Megatrends, a lot of programs like that. We started the Mother of the Nation Festival in Abu Dhabi, where we talked about the woman empowerment and built pavilions and experiences, how to understand these topics. So we go deep into the sensitive understanding and making sure that we create educational experiences where people can locate themselves in it and understand the essence of the message. Because I don't like to focus on entertainment where just having fun, and I call it fast food entertainment, which deserves its own position in business. But we located ourselves from our aim of running projects where we have an educational process in it, as well with our own IPs, which we now focus on and set in the market. And as well try to help and encourage as well young people to cooperate with us, encourage them, because it's important that actually we take them on board as well, because we are continuing for a lot of years, hopefully. But if we don't invest into the new human capital, especially what's happening now within the speed of change we're in, we will not be able to cope up in the future. And that's why young generations, for me, extremely important to have a very focused eye on it.
Yeah, and I'm actually feeling very, I've been watching you obviously in LinkedIn, and we met with you before, and I see that you're all about sustainability. You were educating about water when last time we met, and all about agriculture. I know you're speaking at some events as well. So how it's really important, and it's really being ignored by so many people because we now live in fast world in the technology where we get blinded with simple things like water or agriculture. Can you tell me more about that? How did you went to that direction?
Look, it was always in my kind of veins to care about that, what is the essence of life, which is actually in a nutshell, let me call it, the power of nature. People are overwhelmed currently with information and very busy with the current issues and things to have and challenges they face every day. People are being scared about the word sustainability, food security, water scarcity, all of these things you hear, even technology, AI, and so on. I'm not talking about the people which are in ecosystem. I'm talking about the 97% they're not in it. So we need to pick up the communities. We need to mainstream these messages. And we made it, we could develop concepts which are going now into the market in this 25, but we launched already projects in the past as well, where we talked about water, where we explained actually where does water come from? What is water? Because people open the tap, water comes out. They open the tap, no water comes out, you have civil war on the streets. Keep it in mind. That's the only thing we're going to face. So we need to make sure that we understand the flow of water, where does water come from, and what water actually really means. Apart from the spiritual point of view and the energy point of view, as well from the factual point of view, how does water come to you and how does it being recycled again? People are not informed in the household where the masses are to actually manage it well. In an industry, the wastage is over proportional big. Now regulations and laws coming in, but they're more fees and tax driven instead of actually efficiency driven. So that is where I see a little bit of the gap in between, where people like to have the knowledge, but they're not giving to them. Same for food. So food, we on the planet, we have enough water, by the way, and we have enough food on the planet.
But
We can
everybody
feed
keeps
10 times the
scaring
amount
that
of people.
it won't be enough, that not enough water.
No,
that
that is, to be honest, it's not about if we have enough water or not. It's about how it's being distributed. If you buy water concessions everywhere and you cut it short for the rest, then you have a shortage of water. If you have areas where you overproportionally use water, but you not actually spread it right, then you have a shortage of some water. Look, water is the oldest fossil on the planet, and it's never been more and never be less. So it is always recycling, and that's how the nature works. So we have enough water, be rest assured. It's all about how we distribute it in the right way and how we make use of it and how we actually treat it. Same for food. If you ever have planted food in the garden, you know that things are growing with seeds tremendously. But you have to maintain it right, you have to do it right, and then use it right. But if you use food in a different way within a wastage amount of XXX, people are scared because the media is playing the games.
Yeah.
It causes an aggressive fascination moment. And we need to step away from that. People need to understand you eat 3 times a day, or 2 to 3 times a day, but you drink as well every moment. You need to know what you're doing, and they don't question it anymore. They're trusting a brand, and then they eat unhealthy food. And then they're wondering that they get sick, and then the other system makes money. But this is a different topic. But I want to say that's why I made it a little bit of my mission to go into this topic and pick up the next generation, which can still train the parents. Because I'm sure you have changed your parent because of the new way of world functions. And this is the target group, the teenagers. These are the target groups we have to educate and as well pick up on the right train. Otherwise, everybody drives in the same direction, which is leading to a disaster when it comes to natural resources and health. And longevity, we hear it many times. It's a branded word now. I wish people taking it serious, but nobody has an idea what he's talking about when it comes to longevity, and many other companies are using it as a branded initiative to make more money. So, and here we come into it with our talents of creation, creating experiences, creating events and whatever. You can make people enjoy to listen, enjoy to understand, and enjoy to react. Nobody likes to be lectured, nobody likes to be forced, but that's what's happening in the next phase. If you don't in between take care of your knowledge. Vera, people always ask me, what is the future of money? Mm-hmm. We don't know. It's not Bitcoin, it's not crypto, it's not cash, we don't know. Things are evolving so fast. For me, the future of money is conscious wealth and knowledge. You need to create and invest tools which nobody can take away with the push of a button. Because we are running into a digitalization of the planet.
Yeah,
especially when you talk about cities and concentrated areas. So if you live off the grid, it's a different story. So people need to be aware how they invest to keep something for themselves but can't be taken away. They are the basic knowledge which actually makes us human beings, and not how the phone works, but understanding actually the content which the phone is bringing to me. And then you can digest it properly, consume it properly, understand it. And then the fear which everybody has will go away.
Yeah, that's right. And what was the turning point in your career where you realized that this is what I want to do? I want to work on sustainability. And I see you talk a lot about sustainability. And what was what made you to decide to go that direction?
I never decided anything. I respect and accept what's being given to me. And, when you work, when I launched almost 16 years ago, the World Future Energy Summit and the Zayed Future Energy Prize, Abu Dhabi was at the very beginning and one of the first in the world to take it mainstream. And that was, let me say, I have to thank one special person, who actually kicked me in this direction, and I opened my eyes and I loved it. So, and who is now, who was the president of COP28, who was heading as well as a chairman, Masdar and others. So, I have to thank the UAE to actually open my eyes because of the project I was involved with. And I'm still involved with as well. So, and here we said, let's get to the next level. And my passion, and as well, a little bit on the roots from my mom, I got the whole ingredients together to get into the direction where I'm now looking for, to be positioned with the ideas and the concepts we have. But, we had the concepts since a long time, but we were a bit too early with our own initiatives. Now the time is right and people are listening because people are starting to ask questions. People see that to the impact of social media, apart from the normal media as we know it, the mainstream medias, people start to understand what is reality and what is not reality. And a lot of truth is coming out. And a lot of things where people say, I didn't know, but I'm really surprised. I can't believe. So, and then they're looking and they start to research. And then you need to have a platform where they find a landing page, where they get informed, not misinformed.
Yeah.
And this is where we see our responsibilities for the future.
I think people are kind of now start awakening and open their eyes on these simple things.
You can call it waking up.
Waking up, exactly. Even there's sometimes some simple things which you think like, oh, I didn't thought that way, but it's so simple.
Yeah.
We just tend to overcomplicate everything, right? It's very simple.
No, it's not about overcomplicating. People are being satisfied with the headline and with the first sentence of any message telling. They haven't read into it. Everything was always there. The truth was always there. You need to read.
Yeah,
you need to make the effort to study it, to read the little word on the second page, or maybe even a half page further. Then the truth is being told. They never lied. It's all about how far you invest time to read the right thing. You can go to a bookstore and buy the comics next to the cashier, or you can go in the back in the corner and look for the right book. You need to make sure that you choose the right media where you get your information from. And these days, algorithms work very smartly if you use it for your benefit, but can work very evilly if you don't use it smartly. So I use social media as the source of information from certain kind of people I follow and from certain things I watch. Then you get feeded. So you can create your own library in the media form. So, and I read, let me say, a book every second week. That's always my aim, to finish a book every second week. But I would say 80% of that I read digitally meanwhile. Why? Because by certain scientists I follow, or by good people I follow, which I have a high opinion about and I respect their content, is it's already kind of served and prepared. So I don't need to research to understand what to study. I find the study immediately, and it's free of charge.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell young people. Look, the changes we have now is equal to 8 years of changes, anything before 2010.
Yeah.
So we have each year equal change of 8 years. So the time is so fast, many people can't cope up anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and I tell always people, guys, understand what you want to study to make sure you don't be waved away by the new world's economy and the trend we're facing with AI, with robotics. You need to know things which robots and AIs can't do to have a job and to have an opportunity to start a company, because you talked about startups and so on. So what I tell to youth is, you need to focus on the HI, which is the human intelligence. Then you combine it with AI, which is the artificial intelligence, to be actually the PI, the perfect intelligence, all surrounded by the EI, the emotional intelligence, and driven by the HI, is the heart intelligence, which makes you the perfect human being in the future. 75% of the jobs we are facing now in the next 10 years haven't been even invented now as we speak. So I believe, and I have a son who's 16, daughter's 15, I will not send them to the standard universities where they're knocking the doors of the school from now and give you the elite kind of status messaging, because most of their students are unemployed, or they are far away from the jobs they have actually studied
reality,
for.
Actually.
60%, or almost, I don't know the exact number, over 70% of the lawyers in New York don't have a job. They're working as waiters and working in restaurants. So what I'm trying to say is, an AI would take care of the legal part, and you need only one lawyer instead of 20 who just fine-tune the outcome of an AI message, and that's it. But what you need to do is, you need to focus on jobs, which is actually needed for the near future to come, which relates to the new world's economy. And sustainability, health, the real health, digitization, agriculture, everything is a huge trend in the future. So focus on that, what is needed, and then you find your position. I'm hosting a speech tomorrow as an opening speech, and as well I'm chairing, doing three panels, and I'm being speaker for the future of the agricultural commodity exchange. It's being hosted the first time in Dubai, and you can't imagine. I had already talked with all the other speakers. We had meetings. You can't imagine what they're saying. We have people from around the world coming. You should come, by the way. It's incredible what the trend is all about, and the mega trend, with the political issues we have, with the geographical issues we have, with the weather, whatever, if it's real or not real, whatever. But the opportunities we have for young people to say comes once in 100 years. It's a chance of a lifetime to be part of something which will never come again. But the chance is as well big to completely fail and be a victim of the new development. So it depends what you choose for yourself. To start a business, this is the best time ever in your lifetime, because everything is being on a reset. Everything going to have a new language and new strategy, a new way of being attacking the market. So that is a chance of a lifetime. If I would be now 21 again, oh my God, I knew what I would do.
That was actually one of my questions.
Yeah.
What advice would you give younger yourself?
Look, for the young people, to be honest, I tell my kids, don't be good at school. And the teachers always tell me, oh my God, the kids are so good, smart, and then why they're not giving more efforts? I said, I don't want them to be putting more effort. I just want them to be above the middle. Why? Because I want them to have enough time to learn other skills. If you want to be good at school, where 95% of what you learn at school you don't need anyway later, it's rubbish, because the system is old, the education process is old, it's outdated, it's not ready for the new world's economy. I mean, then you wasted your time. Typical university studying is waste of time if you don't go to specialized one. For example, there's one in Abu Dhabi called MBZUAI. It's the Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. Yes, my son will go there. They prepare you directly for what's coming. It's job-related, business-related. It's fantastic. But there's almost none of them outside there. In Europe, I don't know. It's hard to find something. So start your business, learning by doing, and internet is so far free of charge. You can make courses and stuff like this for nothing or for peanuts of money. Yeah, I learned in the last 5-6 years. I used my Corona time very well. I studied health. I studied agriculture because I became a hobby gardener, and I started the whole digitization process. And I didn't go to a course. I didn't go to a university. I did it by myself because I knew what to look at, how to learn, and obviously meet people, go around, hearing, listening to mentors, and so on. So to the teenagers of the world, I would double check if I would go to university X or X, which are telling the people that we are the best, because the most of them are not ready. Go to it yourself, study yourself, start a business, fail. One day you're going to succeed. And failing is never starting from zero. It's always starting with the experience of the previous experience. That adds up.
It's all about processing,
100%.
taking it as an experience.
And the chance to do is startup business these days, which micro money, you don't even need much as you used to need before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And you can do an easy business. And it works if you put efforts. And it's not about hard working. I don't believe in hard working. I believe in smart working, efficiency working. Because this hard working is when you are, let me say, employed somewhere at the work labor, wherever, and then you have to work hard. But if you have a chance to work by yourself and you work smart, it's a completely different way. Yeah. Unite with your friends, which you learned with, study with, unite yourself with the talents you have around you with good buddies, and see how together you can create something amazing. And unity is the key, what you have to focus on.
Yeah, talking about working smart, not hard, the country I am from, my background, we were always taught that you have to work hard. All our parents, like all the generation before me, it was like all about working hard. But then the sad reality, you don't actually have to work hard. You have to work smarter. And unfortunately, I personally learned the hard way. But I think our kids, the new generation, they're not about working hard. I think it's going to be
We should
changing.
not forget, Vera, we are human beings. We are not made to work from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You need to create your islands of peace, calmness. Work means as well meditation, praying, gratitude, enjoy, relaxation, connection with nature, having walk. I walk every day 7.5 kilometers barefoot where I live. I live outside of Dubai in a nice, beautiful green oasis. And there I do my calls with. Then sometimes in between I say, you know what? I'm going to go and have, let me say, any treatment, something for me done. You know, work is as well to create an energy hygiene for your body, because we have energy body and we have a physical body. You need to take care of both of them. To be strong, you need to go to exercise. You need to do your sport. My kids have a full sport program, because only with that energy they gain, and as well with meditation and gratitude and eating fruits and working in the garden. It's a holistic approach to be for that moment, what you call work, to succeed in business as well ready. Because it gives you strength, it gives you power, it gives you consciousness, it gives you performance quality, and. The list is long. But if you just work hard and you don't do everything else, you're going to collapse after a while.
I've been there until my health start, sending me alarms.
Yes.
And that's now I changed everything.
Yes.
Every first it's me. I do my walk with
Perfect.
the dogs, then I exercise, and only I go to work. I never start work early, and I don't look at my phone. I switch off all the notifications, because even when I walk the dogs, I leave phone at home.
Yes.
Just because I feel like, you know what, I want to have time with myself, with my peace of mind.
That it calls inner quality time.
Yeah.
And being sometimes alone and don't speak, and being for yourself, to go into your inner mind, it refilters many things out, what you don't need. It cleans old energies out and traumas. When you do a little bit exercise, a little bit stretching, and so on, there's a lot of things you can do naturally. Trust me, then you don't need the bloody doctor anymore. And if you eat healthy, eat fruits, eat this. So there's a lot of little things you can do. Look, you asked me how old I am. I'm 52. My DNA age is almost 10 years younger than my actual age. And people guess me around 40, 42. I wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
I was working like maniac before. And there was no break. And then I got my castle. My buddy said to me, "No, Habibi, you don't have long time anymore. If you continue like this, I make you collapse." He gave me great warnings. And there was one wake-up call I got once, and I focused on my health. I healed myself naturally. I was not well. I was very sick. I healed myself naturally. No doctors, no whatever they told me. And I found a way that actually was gratitude. It was gratitude, and with praying and with meditation and with natural healing, you can achieve anything. And I found out that if you balance your mind with your knowledge, with your consciousness, with your experience and everything in fair symphony approach, you can survive anything. And the world is much more beautiful as we think. And I recommend everybody, especially young people, go out in the nature. Only 11% of the world's tourism go in the nature, and the 89% go in city vacation. Can you imagine? They have no idea how it outside looks like that, how it looks outside there. So you go for a hike, go to waterfalls, go in the mountains. I do it every day, every year with my kids in Austria. Because if you connect with nature, you find powers and strengths unbelievable. And then you start to get downloads from universe, whatever you want to call it. And suddenly you get downloads and ideas. The robots will not get it. Neither AIs will get it. They depend on us, that we feed the machine. But we are getting fed by something higher powers. And if you want to receive these downloads, you need to connect with nature. You need to eat healthy. You need to reduce alcohol and don't do other rubbish, and to make sure that you stay connected. And only if you eat clean and eat healthy, everything else is clean in your body and it can receive. And then your manifestation will work. But you can't ask if you don't invest. That's the principle of life.
I think 80% of people do not follow what you just mentioned. And I think the younger generation, when I watch teenagers and young people in UK and in US, it's only, at the age of 40 and above, they start opening their eyes. But I think we still need to kind of educate. I'm actually educating business owners how to streamline everything and automate so they work less and have this work-life balance. Because, we now live in Portugal, a beautiful place with beaches, and it's such a relaxing place. And I don't want to work anymore 8 hours a day. I want to spend time on the beach with my kids, with dogs, but I still need my business to run. And I think all these tools like AI just helping us, it's just extra resources helping us to run our businesses without us. Yeah, we still need to be there to help, but we don't have to work 24/7 the way I used to when I started,
Now you said many things together. And let me start with the last one. We need to be careful that we don't become the victims of the AAIs, which is the automated artificial intelligence. But you can have something called an activation AI. So where the AI can do certain kind of jobs if you program it right, but you need to be on top of it. Otherwise, you become the victim of that.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately.
it's not about how much you work. It's about when. I work on Saturdays. I work on Sundays. I work in midnight. I stand up, and then it doesn't matter. And I allow my people as well to work from home, come to the office, however they want, as long as they get the job done. I don't care if they needed 10 hours, 15 hours, or only 3 hours. That's their problem in brackets, But I want them to be as well enjoying the surrounding where they're in, and I make sure that they have a good surrounding. And that's why we're taking care of them. But when you say, for example, being with the family and being, let me say in Portugal, and I love Portugal, but the water is far too cold. The ocean is
It
very
is
cold.
cold.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is quality time. So when you're with your kids together, especially when they're young, they have the alpha energy. They have this innocent energy. This is such a source of great energy, which is love, this highest frequency. So they give you so much you can't pay money for. And it's good to give back. Look, when you are kind to people, they receive it, they will be kind as well. Now, when you are kind to them, the reflection of kindness comes back to you, positive energy. Now, if the third person is watching that you are kind to somebody else, if it's your child, your husband, your friend, even in a restaurant, you're kind to a waiter, the third person who's watching will feel the energy as well and be kind too. That's what you call connectivity of quantum physics. Why do I say this? You said something else, 80% don't know what we're talking about.
Yep.
I don't focus on the 80%. I focus on the 20%. If it's maybe even 15 or 10%, these are the ambassadors we need to unite with to spread, because each of them have friends which don't know. But if we equip them right to make sure that the others wake up as well and get encouraged by that new lifestyle, which the world is actually ready for, to welcome us for, then we have a great chance to connect and then actually to convert to the real essence and meaning of humanity. Because now we are a little bit disturbed by the media, what's happening
Yeah,
around the
that's
world,
right.
and we don't want to go into that. But trust me, I think we're going to have another 1.5 to 2 years pain, which will be not nice, but then the transition will come, because I believe the humanity will prove the earth we deserve to be here. And I believe 100% that humanity will wake up so much that love and care and kindness will win. But we need to focus on the 20% to wake up the rest, to encourage the others, to put them into the community. We need to be both the kind person, in fact, the third one who's watching us. If we're going to have a fight, the third one will enjoy the fight. We are kind, the other one was wondering, but then he would say, wow, that looks good and it's nice and has a harmony, and he will be energized by that. And this is how we humans work. We're all connected in one another way.
Yeah. Question. You were telling about that you want to educate younger kids and generation to start their own business. There's so many young entrepreneurs, and I was so impressed. Like, I was traveling to US and I met a couple of guys who was like only 20, 23, and they already making 7 figures. But there's only a few of them, right? But what would be your advice? How to start? Where to start? If you're just, younger yourself and you're just starting, what would be your advice?
Look, I was speaking a couple of these crypto events in the very beginning time. I stopped it all because most of them, unfortunately, don't meet the goals of the essence of the conference, and they were more busy on ticket sales or whatever. But then I stepped away from those, most of them, not all. But I said in one of them, I said, look, guys, I'm looked in the audience, and I said, I know that in 2 years, 90% of you I will not see, and then most of them will try to look for a job. Who doubts I'll have outside a nice, fancy rented car, fancy rented watch, whatever. And trust me, guys, business doesn't work like this. These smart kids, as we have them today, and there are a lot of them, they're not wise. When you have advisors, you need a wise advisor. I would tell everybody who starts a business as a young kid, be smart, be kick-ass, be whatever you want to be, but have a wise advisor who's experienced and give you a little bit of a forecast of what might happen. The most of the boards, when you see this young startup, they put people amongst themselves, and then there's nobody there, which is a kind of, I call it a business angel, a guardian angel, a mentor. So I would always advise them to have somebody who they can trust, who mentors them and makes them aware of what could happen if you do 1, 2, 3, because there is sometimes a chronological order of happenings. They can't forecast that. And these young kids sometimes become too arrogant, and then they get injected with funding, which won't happen as much as it used to be. It's easy. But then they get funded, and then boom, they hit the wall because they got excited by money, by car, by whatever. And these few of them, they make 7 figures. It's not about making the money. It's not difficult to make money.
Yeah.
It's about holding it and continue to scale. because you can make within the first part big money, or maybe it was others people's money, whatever it is, but hold it, reinvest it, be smart. Principle of life, and I'll give you that as the final advice. Life is like nature. When I plant a seed in darkness, the seed comes out, the tree will grow, fruits will come out. Do I eat all the fruits when the fruits are there? No. There are 4 kind of conditions you have to respect. One is you eat fruits to feed yourself, to energize yourself. The second part of the fruit, you divide it by 4. The second one is you harvest some of the fruits and trade it and sell it to create some wealth, to diversify your investment. The third one, you leave some fruits for the birds. You need some for the ecosystem. They need to enjoy as well, because they will protect it, they will take care of you, because they have the principle. The fourth one is you let some fruits fall down the ground. So they can become part of the soil to re-neutralize, or to how do you call it in English? To give the nutritions for the soil that the tree can next season have again fruits. So the most of the people, they take all the fruits for themselves, they eat them or they sell them all and they make money. But there's other 2 for the birds, and then to get the soil back with minerals from the other fruit, they don't take care about it. And that's the problem. And you have the payback, and that takes up to 2-3 years, and then you're gone.
Yeah, that's right. I also seen that when young entrepreneurs, they just manage to grow so quickly, but then they fallen down so quickly as well, and it's really painful. I know you don't have that much time. I just would like to ask a final question. Who are some mentors who influenced you, who you become today? Do you have any favorite names who taught you something in your career?
Yeah. It's a good question. I like that. Look, there are people that didn't know they're my mentor, but whatever they told me, within a time, it made sense. Because when they told me in the beginning, I didn't get it, which I was young, which are the parents. My mom had her part, God bless her soul. My father had his part. So both of them, they were saying things which are like, what? As a teenager, like, you don't want to hear it. Doesn't make sense. But it's stuck in your mind.
Yeah.
And then within time, oh my God, they were right. And then your brain starts to recap things. Whenever you glimpse with your eyes, it's actually a screenshot. So when you relate the picture of the moment, somebody told you something, you screenshot the moment, and then the message behind is saved and underlined. You can call up the messages. There's a way how you can work with your brain. That's why I'm capable to memorize a lot of slides of presentations. But what I'm trying to say with it is, when the parents were wise, that is a gift. Then when you have good friends, which you learned from them, what is right, what is wrong, the best friends are the ones that give you the mirror and said, Sam, you screwed it up. It wasn't good. It wasn't nice. So you learn how to be a human being, how to be kind and friendly to others. Then you have the mentors from school, from university, from wherever. I have a couple of names, and I'm always thankful, but they know that they mentored me. To one of them, 2 of them, they didn't even know, and they were wondering that I gave them once a speech on stage and thanked them, and they were like, what, me? I said, you don't know? That was the case, and then you actually woke me up without you realizing. So there are some mentors, but you need to honor them. You need to respect them. And you need to make them aware of it, because they enjoy and they will thank you with a complete different power of energy and spirit. But mentor could be as well a good book. Mentor could be as well a moment of an experience which was very hard. Sometimes I have people that were like, I wouldn't say my enemy, that I would say enemy, now I would be grateful and I say thank you. But there were people in my life, they were not very nice to me. And that time it was really bad what they did to me, and how to cheat me, how to play me. But actually afterwards, everything was actually
Experience.
maintained. How do you call it in English? It was meant to be. Because afterwards, when I learned all of it, I had to be thankful, because that lesson would have cost me much more years. But it came as a gift to me.
Yeah.
Yes, I lost money. Yes, something happened. Yes, my emotions were on the ground with that. But the experience I got out of it, and that's what I said in the beginning, the experiences are actually the key ingredients to get step by step further in your life. So I welcome them as a message to wake me up now. I'm being conscious about it, why it does happen to me, why somebody's not calling back, why this project didn't work out the way I wanted, because there was a message behind. I look for the message. And then I'm much more relaxed about it. I don't get that disappointed. I don't get that frustrated, because I have to learn something out of it. There's always somebody have wrong. There's always somebody's fault. I don't even ask for it. I don't look for it. I look only for my moment, what I could have done better. And that is the best mentor. It's my subconscious mind, my conscious mind, my way of seeing things, which came with an experience of life.
Yeah, that's part of the learning curve, I would call it. Unfortunately, when I was younger, I didn't know that. You know, uh, you kind of shut yourself from these things. And I think when you're getting older, you understand this.
That's why a wise mentor is very important. Yeah, what I said for young people in a run a company, have a wise mentor, have a person who means well, and listen to him. You know, and this is and trust your gut feeling. Don't
Yeah.
go to the brain. Everybody wants to understand, then like, but they will never reach the feeling. I always go by my feelings, by the gut feeling. Then my heart, I like it. Then the brain to understand it. I don't use the opposite route because the opposite route will leave one out, which is the gut feeling. And this is the best protector in life, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Uh, Listening to your inner self, I think that's very important. Something many people ignoring.
Yes.
And if something guides you from inside, you have to do it. You know, now I change totally the way I do. If something comes to my head, I just try and go do it as soon as it landed in my head. Because before I would just ignore it and think, oh, this is crazy. This is cannot happen, and just forget about it. But I start doing the other way. And I feel like it's meant to be. If it came to my head while I'm working without phone or during meditation, it means there is a reason why.
Yeah.
So
But sometimes let the universe do the game as well.
yeah,
Let
that's
let
right.
it. Sometimes you do, in business, and that's the last advice. Don't force it. Don't push for it. Make sure the people are aware that you're there. Make sure that they know what you can do, what you're ready to do, and that you're ready for them. But don't push for it. If they don't come back to you, there's a reason. I used to push. I used to be very aggressive in sales. Oh, well, I have the good idea. And the best business were always, which I didn't push for. You know, they
Yeah.
came to me flying. So let the universe do its game as well. And sometimes a lot of beautiful surprises come towards you.
Yeah, that's right. I actually also learned something. You know, like when I'm stressed about money and as you say, like pushing, nothing comes. It's even getting freaking harder. But when I'm relaxed and I don't even think about it, it's coming just out of, I don't know, out of nowhere.
Money is only energy.
Yes, the more
And
I'm
give it
relaxed,
energy.
the more
Don't give
is,
it enforcement. Don't give it, yeah. Money is only energy. It's an exchange of energies. That's it.
yeah, that's right.
Cryptos will be an exchange of energies as well. So
Yep.
don't give it too much importance, but do your thing, stand there, be the right person who you want to be, and keep educating yourself that you can really have any discussion on the table you can. Because the problem is when you focus on the phone and you can ask a question and then, oh, I can look at here's the answer, and then, I get the answer. Man, you have to have it in your head. Why? Because you can interconnect logical thinking and emotional contribution within the heartfelt energy. Then you can actually be the smartest guy in the room. But if you rely on it on the phone to get the answer, it's like going with Google Map around the city, and you don't look anymore in the
I don't use
landmarks.
my brain anymore when I
Then
drive,
to
you
be
know?
honest, I'm get trapped by Google Map because it's very convenient. But whatever made convenient doesn't mean it's better for his human beings. You
Yeah.
know, so sitting, for example, is the worst thing you can do as a human being. I stand only. When I sit, I get an uncomfort feel after a while because you know sitting is worse than smoking cigarettes and actually eating McDonald's or fast food. It's so unhealthy just sitting, but it makes it comfortable. But it doesn't mean it is better for you. And so the list goes on. So you have to keep your brain trained. Otherwise, it's like a muscle. It's sloughed down
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then by,
that's right.
and then you
That's
become
right.
the victim of the AAI. You know, and that is the problem.
Yeah. And before we wrap up, any exciting projects you're currently working on?
My God, there's a lot coming. We worked now the last couple of years to develop them the way we want, but there's something coming which we call the Zamira, the greatest earthen show. It will be in a pavilion experience of 8 pavilions, where the earth is talking to the humans, and it's going to be a beautiful festival as an experience. And there will be as well a beautiful show, where an entertainment show which runs a couple of times a day. It's a pretty big project, which is very close to my heart, and this hopefully we will launch it in early 26. There's a lot of work behind it. There's a lot of other projects, but this one is something where it's for the community, where it's for the public, and we will make a big noise around it so everybody to come. And I will invite you as
Sure.
well and
I'm
people
looking
like
forward.
you to support. And it's a big list of people that are going to be involved in it. We're going to invite almost everybody who wants to be involved and how he can contribute. And it's going to be an open book invitation because we just want to make sure that the right people can contribute to something which is good for everybody. To the 20% to bring the rest of the 80%.
Wow, that's really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time. I'm really appreciating. I know you're very busy, so I'm
Thank
really
you.
thankful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.